So in today's video, I decided to do something a little different. I decided to start an experiment. And I was playing with the 4-Hour Body, which is a book by Tim Ferriss. I'm sure some of you know it. If you haven't checked it out, it's an interesting book. It's a book about, well, it's kind of hard to explain, but it has all kinds of stuff in it that, that you can do to change your life in the easiest way. Like Tim Ferriss's thing is, how do I accomplish goal in the shortest amount of time possible? Goal X in the more shortest amount of time possible. So he likes to apply this concept to pretty much everything. So for example, this book is a book that teaches you about perfecting sleep, adding muscle, reversing injuries, running faster and farther, getting stronger, getting a longer and better life, better sex life, things like this. And it has all kinds of hacks or shortcuts to be able to accomplish your goals in these areas much faster. One of the ones that interested me in here, and has interested me for a long time because it looks pretty much impossible on the surface, is a chapter he calls From Geek to Freak. From Geek to Freak is where Tim Ferriss swears you can put on a massive amount of muscle in your body in 1 month if you follow a simple formula. And when I talk to people about it, a lot of people that are trainers and so forth, they pretty much say that it's impossible to do what he says in this book. So I decided to look it up on YouTube and check out some other people. I have a lot of respect for Tim Ferriss and what he's done. He's not some weird, strange hack that I've never heard of. He's somebody that I actually really respect from his book, The 4-Hour Workweek. And if you haven't read that, you should check that out too. And so what I did was I looked up online after talking to some of these other people who said this stuff couldn't be done, and I found some people that had actually played with this program, adding this muscle. Now, for context here, Tim Ferriss added about 34 pounds of lean muscle mass to his body in 1 month. This is what he claims. And up until I saw that, I always thought that was completely impossible. And I still kind of find it hard to believe because I've never met anybody that's done it. He learned it based on, or he learned about it from this study that was done at Colorado University, where this guy added a lot more than 34 pounds. I don't remember the exact number. Tim referred to him as like a freak of nature. Now, Tim, not being able to add muscle easily to his body his whole life, found that when he did this, he was able to add muscle. So when I saw that it was 34 pounds in a month, I thought to myself, this sounds almost impossible because I've never heard of such a thing. So I looked up some various videos on YouTube, and I found a few videos where other people have claimed to have added at least 10 pounds of muscle using this program in a month, which even that seems high to me. So I figured, what the hell, I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to use myself as an experiment and see what happens, because I personally want to add more muscle mass to my body and reduce my body fat, something I've been wanting to do for a while. And this is a great opportunity to practice that. By the way, Tim also said that he did lose body fat percentage while doing this. So it sounds like the perfect world, doesn't it? Now, what makes this process really interesting is he does it all on about a half hour of gym time a week. He does about 2 workouts a week, and they kind of spread out as time goes on and get farther and farther apart. And you're only doing 2 exercises a day to failure, 1 set to failure. And when he says failure, he describes it as you got to really burn your body out. To learn more about it, I recommend you check out the book, The 4-Hour Body, and you can see all the details there. So I started the process yesterday, so this is technically day 2. And the second part to it is that you have to eat a lot. To really make this study or this experiment interesting, I decided to go ahead and go get a DEXA scan, which is also something Tim Ferriss talks about. It's one of the best tools. It's like a little x-ray machine that measures your fat to muscle ratio and tells you where the fat's stored on your body exactly, and all your visceral fat, how much visceral fat you have, and so forth. And I found it really interesting because I've been wanting to know this for a while, and this really tells me what my goals are going to be. I would love to get down to, my actual goal is to get down, I'm at 22.7% body fat, and I want to get down to around 15% minimum, 15, 16 to start, and then ultimately 12%. But I'm going to set it at 15, 16%, right in that range. But I want to add on about 15 pounds of muscle from talking to Chris down at Body Spec. And Body Spec was a great organization, by the way. They really did a great job. And if you want to check them out, you can go to body-spec.com. And the one I went to is based in West Los Angeles. and I'm sure they would, if you want to get this done, it was about $45 and you go have it done. So that's pretty much it. So we're going to do this starting today. I'm going to do it for at least a month, maybe 6 weeks. We're going to do some regular report-ins. And when I get this done again, I'm going to let you know exactly what the results are, whether it worked or didn't work. Now, either way, I want to continue this. I want to put those 15 pounds of muscle on. I want to get my body fat percentage down. If it takes a year, it takes a year. If it takes less than that, like Tim Ferriss says, if I can actually put them 10 pounds of muscle on in a month or 20 pounds of muscle in a month, which I honestly find it hard to believe, we're going to find out if that works too. Let's just see where this experiment takes me. It's going to be a lot of fun, guys. And I'd love to hear about what you guys think of this. I especially want to hear from people that maybe have tried this before, if anybody has. I know there's a lot of you out there that probably know who Tim Ferriss is. I'd love to hear what your results were. And be sure to put your comments in the video below and to subscribe. And as always, what would you do if you were not afraid? Indirect is fine. It's flirty, it's playful, it's fun. It's great for practicing being flirty, and I love to be flirty and have fun with people throughout the day to practice my conversation skills. But if I see a woman I really like and I want to meet her and I want to go over and say hi to her, that's only true if your vulnerability is needy. But if your vulnerability is mixed with grounded confidence, in other words, I'm owning my fear, I'm owning what scares me, I'm owning what makes me nervous, and I'm not making you responsible for it.